Muslim?
Yes, I am, brother.
All right,
Alhamdulillah.
welcome to the panel.
Thank you. Um, so pretty much, I like to say the least is, you know, every time I look at your channel, right, it's always about Islam. Why is it always that you're always attacking Islam? To say the
Well, that's a good question. The reason why I talk a lot about Islam is because Islam talks a lot about Christianity and gets a
least.
lot of things wrong about Jesus, about the prophets. And so there's a lot of misconception spread in the Islamic community. And I feel called by God to reach these people.
I can understand that, but you know, when I look at how Muslims react to other Christians, they're not always coming out attacking Christians.
Well, then
And I
maybe
get it.
your head has probably been under a rock, man, because that's all the Dawagandists do. They hold entire live streams attacking Paul, attacking the Bible, attacking the deity of Christ and who he is, and all kinds of stuff. So if you're saying that you don't see Muslims do this, either you're lying or maybe you just are new to the internet and maybe you just got a computer today.
No, no, it's not that at all. It's like just based on my experience. I'm not always on like these type of channels doing all this stuff. So I'm just pretty much asking.
Okay.
But to say the least, what do you mean when you say no Muslim can defend Islam? Like when we look at our different philosophical views based on
Mhm.
what you guys believe and what we believe, you
Mhm.
know, I like to look at it from a very simple concept as like, in order for God to be God, what attributes does he have to have? So when we look at it from that perspective, we say that God is all knowing, all seeing, all hearing. And in order for him to be all knowing, all seeing, and all hearing, he has to have those attributes at all times. Because the
Mhm.
second he loses those attributes or limits it, then
Mhm.
that defeats the purpose of him being God, which can also conclude that he can't also be human. Like, do you
Okay.
understand my stance on that?
Yeah, so I would say that, well, going with that stance, then you would have to go against Allah. Jason Casper was funny. He says, because Islam's low hanging fruit. Allah in the Quran is shown to be dependent. He's shown that he um, would need help to do certain things. He depends on things outside of himself to do things. So with that logic, you would have to reject Allah of the
No,
Quran.
not necessarily. I mean, what would you say that is?
Well, he can't have a son unless he has a mate.
I think, well, I think I'm very familiar with that verse. I think based on that verse, it's not saying it out of incapability. It's just saying it through like the human perspective of how we understand it. He's higher than that. He wouldn't actually do that because he's
He
above that
doesn't say
essence.
that. He doesn't say he's higher than that or above it. He says, how can he? He says, how can he have a son when he has no mate? So it's talking about his capability.
But then you're just limiting him by saying that. But that doesn't really make sense to
Say,
me. What
wait,
are you trying?
say that again. Say that again. It's doing what by saying
Well,
that?
no, hold on, bro. Wait, let's
No,
just
no,
refresh
say
because
that.
I
No,
don't know.
you
Uh,
no, no,
no,
come on, Gabe.
no, listen, bro. Relax, relax, relax.
You hit it right on the nail by saying that it's doing what to Allah? It's doing
Okay,
what?
look. I don't know the Arabic context behind it,
No,
so
it's
I
okay.
kind of
Say,
just said that.
just say it again. It's doing what?
Okay, he's not. He's probably saying it from a different perspective
No,
than what
brother,
you
brother,
understand.
stop. Come on, you said the word. It started with an L. When you phrase it like that,
Hold
it's
on. Okay,
doing what to him? It's doing what?
like I said, I don't think it's out of incapability. He's saying that, bro.
That's not what I asked you. Gabe, come on, Gabe. Don't make me rewind the tape. I'll
I'm
rewind it to
not
get
a.
it out of you
I
again.
know, I know what I said. All right, I did say
All right,
that,
so
but I
what did you
didn't
say? Say it
intentionally
one
mean to
last
say that.
time.
Huh?
Say it one last time. That phrase, when you say, how can he have a son when he has no mate? That phrase is doing what to him? You said it starts with an L. It's doing what?
I don't remember what I said.
All right, so hold on. I got you, brother.
No, you don't gotta rewind nothing, bro. Listen,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
trying to
got you.
understand. Look, bro, I don't want to. It's
It's
look. I'm talking about
okay.
attributes, bro. I'm only talking about
I'm
attributes.
I'm here. I am here for you. I am here
Because
for the
God is one.
cause.
He's not equal to anything,
Well,
like
that
as
doesn't.
far as another human being.
That's right. But hold on a second. Let's go ahead. Whoops. What just happened there? Okay. Let's go ahead here and let's see what you actually said. Because we
Brother,
have to know.
you're we're going. My God, brother.
It's okay, man. It's all right. Okay. So let's get it here. Let's see. Actually, let's give him big screen. All right. So hold on. Everybody listen. Let's see.
I don't remember what I said.
All right, so hold on. Hold on. I muted
No,
it.
you
My
don't gotta
bad.
rewind
I
nothing, bro.
muted the
Listen,
site.
I'm trying to understand.
Hold
Look,
on.
bro, I don't want to.
I got you. Doing what? He has no mate. Say it one last time.
All right, I did say
All right,
that,
so
but
what, Gabe? Don't make me
what he's saying,
remember.
he's probably saying it from a different
Say it again. Get it right.
perspective.
No, by saying that.
Saying that, but that doesn't really make sense.
Wait.
But then you're just limiting him by saying that. But that doesn't really make sense.
Say that again.
But then you're just limiting him by saying that. Okay, I got it, bro. I got it. I said it without thinking, bro. That's not bad. Limiting him by saying that. But
So it's doing what?
listen, I don't think he's doing it out of incapability. All right, I don't know the tafsir behind
Wait,
it.
what is that phrase? What does that phrase do to Allah? You said it there. What does that phrase do to Allah by saying
That would
how
defeat
can
his
he?
nature. I'm trying to tell you that would defeat his nature. That was my
Well,
mistake. I didn't mean to say it
third,
like that.
it defeats his nature because his nature is supposed to be all powerful.
Correct.
Yet he's not all powerful enough to have a son without a mate.
But he's higher. He's trying to say he's higher than that. He wouldn't do that. You know,
We're not talking about what he would do. We understand. Having a son or having a mate is beneath him. He wouldn't do that. But can he is the question.
I mean, God can do as He wills, but like I said, if He were to do that, that would pretty much defeat His nature. Because why would He need to create that?
He can have a son only if he had a mate to have a son with, right?
Not necessarily,
brother.
I mean, kun fayakun, be as it is. Like He can will.
See, you're right. Kun fayakun, be and he is. If he wills it, he says be, and boom, he can have a son, supposedly, theoretically, except you have where the Quran tells you, how can he have a son when he doesn't have a mate? Therefore, limiting him, making him not all powerful and dependent. So
Okay,
why
but then that would be the same thing for your religion, bro.
No, because in my religion,
limited.
Let me tell you, in my religion, God doesn't rely on anything outside of himself in order to have a son. Jesus is the begotten son of the Father, straight from the Father's essence. The Father didn't need a companion in order to have a son and have Jesus. No, by God's own very essence, his own nature, he generates and begets Jesus, the Son, eternally. He didn't need a mate, but Allah does. So which God is all powerful?
I would still say Allah because God doesn't have a male. He's one in the essence. But what you're pretty much saying is that like if he were to have a son, that would be limiting him. That's what you're saying. Why are you making that face, bro? What's wrong with you, man?
With me, Gabe.
No, I'm not playing with you. I'm being serious, man. It's illogical to say God is a human being based on those attributes because humans are limited.
Sure. And would you agree that it's illogical to suggest that Allah would need a mate in order to have a son? That's illogical, right?
Yes.
So the Quran's illogical.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't. Listen, bro.
The Quran's illogical.
I'm talking about for your stance, bro. Because there's no contradictions in the Quran.
Dude, my stance is your stance. Look, I agreed with you. I followed you that God has particular attributes, right, that make him God, right?
Okay.
And to fail in any of these attributes or characteristics, that wouldn't be God. Being all powerful and not being limited, being self-sufficient. These are some of the things you said, which I agree with, which is why I reject Allah as God, because he's not self-sufficient. He's dependent on other things. This was one of the examples.
I mean, being self-sufficient is like you don't rely on food, you don't rely on water. Like
being
you're immortal.
Being self-sufficient means that you rely on your own self.
Okay.
Right? You don't need anything outside of yourself for anything. You're self-sufficient.
Okay, I agree.
So, but Allah, he needs a mate, something outside of himself, in order to have a son, if he wanted to do that. So therefore, he's not.
But that's the different doctrines that we have between each other. You know what I'm saying? That's why we don't agree on those two things.
Agree on what two things?
That God would never have a son because he's higher than that, like we established. But you believe that he would have a son.
That's not what we're arguing, though. We're not. Forget the would he part first. Let me even grant you that he would never do that.
Okay.
The fact that he could or could not do it, that's what makes or breaks. Would he have a son? If he would, he would. If he wouldn't, he wouldn't. That doesn't take away from him being self-sufficient or being God. What takes it away is whether he can or not, or if he would need help to do so or not. You get what I'm saying?
But then can we also look at the stance of like, can God make a rock so heavy that he can't lift? No, he
Well,
wouldn't.
that's contradictory. That within
No,
itself
he
is
would never.
contradictory.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. He would never do that because that
Well,
would.
no, the answer is that he can't do that because God can't contradict himself. That would actually be a
But he
lack.
would
That would
never
be a
do that. Is
weakness.
what I'm trying to say. He would never make a rock so heavy that he can't.
Could he?
Uh, no.
I agree. No, the answer is no, because God can't contradict himself,
Yes.
right? He can't contradict himself. However, him having a son has nothing to do with contradicting himself. So even your Quran says that he could have a son if he wanted to. That's 39:4. He could have a son if he wanted to. He would choose something from his creation. However,
I'm gonna
he would
look
need
into
a mate to do it.
because I haven't read the entirety of the Quran. I'm gonna look into that so I can. I'm gonna come back up here again soon.
Fair enough. You're more than welcome, Gabe. I liked you, man. This was good. Come back on
I
this
like it.
subject. We could talk, or we could talk about other things as well. But yeah, come back and we'll finish this. Is that cool?
Yeah, cool, bro. Thank you, Avery. I appreciate
All
that.
right. Take care, man.